Just same old. I don't know, should I rant here? Should I cry? Because I think there's no benefit right now of crying. I can literally cry on the stream. It's just about laugh, but I don't even want to laugh. This team is gonna give me absolute nightmares. The weekend is spoiled, forget about it. The way we are playing right now, we are an absolutely an utter mess and it's becoming very worrying. And I think if you are really discounting this match, it's a process and nothing is gonna happen. I think you're discounting this too much again. The blame has to go to the ownership, the directors. These players for me are not good enough. The manager, he's an absolute bottle job. But again, the problems are just too deep. The same old, we could not even beat 10 men Burnley, the side that was second from bottom. Even I was positive for this game because we were playing Burnley, for fuck's sake. We were playing Burnley, who are 19th in the league, in the Premier League. We were playing Burnley, who had their one of the better performances in the last 2 weeks. David Fofana, our own player, ineligible to play, and we still drew this game 2-2. And we are lucky we did not lose this game. If Jay Rodriguez had some finishing boots on, we could have lost the game. Absolutely pathetic, shameful. I just don't know, without Cole Palmer and Malo Gusto, where will we be this season, especially Cole Palmer? Most probably sitting near the relegation zone. That's been the impact of Cole Palmer. Again, it was the same old. We started the match, we were really poor, and Burnley were the better team in the first 10-15 minutes. We grew into the game, we created chances, we missed chances, but then luckily the referee gave us a bit of help and we got a lucky penalty and he got a red card. And after that, it was converted by a fantastic penalty by the best player of the season for us in Cole Palmer, one of the best players in the Premier League this season. We got a 1-0 lead. We are playing against 10 men. You thought we were going to win this game. Irrespective of the performance, we move on to Manchester United. But then we go on and we concede a goal just within 2 minutes of the half time. I don't even know what Mauricio Pochettino says to his players in the dressing room. Is it to just go on the pitch and do nothing? Is that a match is over, just relax? Or does he not even say anything because the players came out absolutely lethargic, shameful? We conceded the goal, could have conceded the second, but Petrovic made a good save. Then thankfully in the end, Palmer scored a beautiful goal after a good flick by Sterling. But again, poor on the set piece, pathetic defensive, and that it was 2-2 to Burnley. After that again, we had a chance from 3 yards. Raheem Sterling missed it. The story of a season. And then we went on, and Jay Rodriguez should have made it 3-2. Badia Shelley absolutely sleeping. He has been absolutely awful for the last 2 months, and luckily, Jay Rodriguez did not convert his chance, and we got away with that. Same old story, 2-2 draw. We are struggling again. Home form is something we are really proud of, and this season we have lost in Nottingham Forest. We draw to Burnley right now, is getting to an absolutely unacceptable level. But I think, see, the manager lost the fans a long time ago. Many fans, I will say 80 to 90% of the Chelsea fan base wants Poch out. For me, see, I again and again will say he has to be sacked, but I'm not Poch out. Again, my problem is Lawrence Stewart, Paul Stanley, Todd Boehly, Bidat Iqbali, Clearly Capital. They are the bigger problem. And again, with the contracts we've given to these players, we are in this mess for the next 7 to 8 to 9 years. We are stuck now. Whether it turns to goal or whether we are finished as a club and finito, it really depends on the way our season goes and the next season comes. Because the problem we have put ourselves in with these players on 80-year contract, with the squad we have assembled, it is a mid-table squad at best. It's playing like a mid-table. But if this team stays mid-table for 1 or 2 more years, the fans are going to lose this, the sponsors will lose it, and will become an absolute finito club. Right now, the problem is absolutely deep. Without Cole Palmer and Malo Gusto, we are not in this position. If you see the squad right now, the quality players we have got, it is only Cole Palmer, Malo Gusto, somewhat I will say Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and then someone Nicholas Jackson, and that's because he can link up well. Other than that, the squad has no quality. Bardeshell is not good enough to play at this level, at Chelsea's level. Disasi is an average player at best. You go on to Marc Cucurella, who is not a good enough player. Then you go on to, again, Conor Gallagher. He cannot play against the low block sides. It's well and good to have him pressing oppositions. It's well and good to have him play against the big sides, cover the ground. But Conor Gallagher, to play against this sides who are going to play low block, he's not good enough creatively. Then you go to the front department again. Noni Madueke is still very young and raw. Mudryk has got the talent to be something big, but he needs 2 to 3 years of development. Can we give him that? And we are stuck in the same situation. Our senior players, Raheem Sterling, not good enough. Thiago Silva, turning 40 now this year, and it's massive problem now. This squad needs an utter refreshment. This squad needs to be changed, and we have just spent 1 billion, and most of these players are on 8-year contract. Yes, we can sack the manager. Yes, we can sack Mauricio Pochettino. He is a part of the problem, and he's an absolutely awful manager, and I have to take the blame. I thought he will be a good appointment, and I was wrong. But overall, the problem is deeper. We haven't got a striker who can convert his chances. We haven't got a proper centre-backs who can defend. We still haven't got a proper DM. We still don't have a proper left-back in the squad. You go on with the other parts of the pitch, we still don't have a world-class goalkeeper. And the problems just go deep and deep and deep. We don't even have an experience in the squad. And the whole squad is being carried by Cole Palmer. And the only experience we have got, Sterling and Thiago Silva, they aren't good enough at the level we need right now. And that's the story. And if we think sacking Pochettino will put us back in the top 4 in the league, nah, that is not happening. Until we'll go and fix in the summer, we sign some world-class ready-made players. We are not getting back to top 4 anytime any soon. Champions League music is not going to be there at Stamford Bridge for the next 2-3 years if this continues. It is becoming a massive problem now, and we need a lot of refreshing. A lot of things need to change. But the signings we have made, 8-year contract, it won't happen overnight, and we are stuck in this mess now. We are stuck in this mess. I told everyone on this channel that if we sign this players on 8-year contract, this better work. And it's not working right now. We are in big trouble financially. This season, in the end of the season, we have to sell Conor Gallagher. We have to sell Trevor Chalobah, Armando Broja, Jan Matse, and if we can get money for any of the players, we need to sell them. And then how we buy players. Right now, what Todd Boehly and his people have been doing is selling the Cobham assets for good prices and using that to buy these new shiny young players to build their multi-model club and whatever. As they keep on selling these young players from Cobham, there will be no one left. Then what? Conor Gallagher this season will fetch 30 million. Chalobah will fetch you 15 million. Broja will fetch you 10 million. But after that, who will you sold? There's no one right now in the Cobham Academy that can fetch that type of money. Then where we go? The mess is very deep. It is not a small problem. We are in a very big mess. And if we don't realize it has fans very soon, we are going to be finito. This FFP problem, selling the academy graduates, using Cobham Academy just to sell them and not give them chances. This is becoming an absolute joke right now. And on the pitch, the performances are not good enough. You go on with the players we have signed, spending 1 billion. It's 1 billion wasted. And it's been an utter shambles. The manager is 4th manager now under this management, under this ownership, and is failing. Lawrence Stewart, Paul Stanley from Brighton, they are failing in their job. And the only player who has carried us this season was the only player we did not sign on the base of the data. We wanted to sign Olise. Palmer was an emergency signing. Palmer was signed just at the end of the season, end of the transfer window, and he's saving our whole season. This whole data thing, data, it is becoming too much now, and we are facing massive trouble in the future. We need to find some adjustment in this model. We need to go in between, sign some ready-made world-class players, and get back on track next season. Because this season, we aren't finishing in the top 6. It's done. It's dusted. Conference League is going to be an embarrassment. It's better don't even go towards that. It's better we finish 8th or 9th this season, sack Pochettino, get some of these players out, bring some experience like Ivan Toney, bring some experienced players, bring an experienced centre-back, and then go forward. Right now, the squad we have got, we are going to remain mid-table for a very long time, and it's going to take this squad 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to click. Until then, we are going to be finito, absolute finito, because right now, the only way we can sustain ourselves is sell our academy graduates, but for how long can we keep doing it? Something even I don't know right now. And that brings me to discuss on the first part, that is again, Cole Palmer. And again I will say, where will we be without Cole Palmer? Where will Chelsea Football Club be this season without Cole Palmer? I don't even think we'll be 11th right now. We'll be easily 15th or 16th this season. That's how bad we have been. This man alone has been carrying the whole attack. Noni Madueke, Mudryk, Sterling, Nico Jackson, and Nkunku, whatever you can put the names. This man has been carrying everyone on his back. He has been literally saving us in every situation this season. Saved against Newcastle. Literally got us a 3 points on his own today. I don't know how much this man can do. And if we keep staying in this mid-table, I won't be surprised a club like Manchester City come again for him. I won't be surprised a club like, you can say, Barcelona, Madrid come for him next season or after next season. But if we play like this, if we stay mid-table, this man will leave us in 1 or 2 years' time. Because right now, we are a stepping stone for Cole Palmer. This man is a world-class player that should not be playing for a club like Chelsea right now. In terms of prestige and history, he should. But in terms of the current stature, the way we are playing, he should not. We have just become mid-table club right now. We are officially mid-table. And it's an absolute embarrassment where we are. And we have been carried by this guy. We cannot keep on going this again and again. Process. Process is about development. Process is about seeing something. There's no style of play. There's no pattern of play. The players are absolutely scattered everywhere. You don't even know who are we going to sign next. Some 16-year-old Brazilian, some American, some 15-year-old boy, and whatever they try to do. You just don't know what we are doing, which player we are signing, what is the strategy, where do they want to take the club, the dividends, the CEO coming and saying, I don't know nothing about football. I haven't even watched a football game. And you've got all this sort of problems. Behind the scenes, it's not looking good. Injury after injury. Lavia now out for the whole season. And Cuckoo, you never know even know when he'll be back. Now Malo Gusto got injured in the end of the game as well. Chukwuemeka got injured again. Chalobah is injured again. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we heading? Big question need to be asked. And it's becoming very worrying. And that takes me again to another point. That is, we could not defend. We just could not defend against the second worst side in the league, and that is Burnley. They are 19th in the league, and for me, they are even more poor than Sheffield United. They are an absolutely awful side, and they play to the way we want. Vincent Kompany wants to play good attacking football. It plays right into our hands, and if they are playing any other team with 10 men, Arsenal, they are playing Liverpool, they're absolutely getting smashed by 6 or 7-0, and we could not even score more than one open play goal against them. It's an absolute abomination. It's an absolute embarrassment. We could not be the second worst side in the league, and we dreamed to play Europa League football. We dreamed to play Europa League football. We dreamed to beat Manchester in the semi-final, and we could not even be the second worst side this season. It's an absolute embarrassment. For this side, you want your players to take the game forward. You need your players to score the goals. I don't even know how much can I blame the manager. I can blame the manager for the wrong setup. I can blame the manager for defensive shambles. But I can't blame him to Nicholas Jackson missing easy chances. Malo Gusto missing an easy chance. Palmer earlier in the game missing chances. Then you go into in between. Mudryk missing chances. Mudryk missing chances. I can't blame the manager for that. And again, we just don't have good attacking players bar Cole Palmer. Everyone is inexperienced. Sterling is not good enough. And we are stuck in this bad cycle now. I just don't know, guys, where we go. I really don't know where this club is heading to. I don't know which height we reach. Right now, I don't even think we'll reach the heights of proper top table. We are going to remain mid-table with the way we are going. There's just no consistency. There's just no patterns. You don't even know what to expect. Sometimes the defense is good. Sometimes defense is shite. Sometimes attack is good. Sometimes they are shite. The players are losing confidence. The players are absolutely unclear. Disasi goes against Manchester City and puts an absolutely wonderful display. And then he goes on and puts in, you can say, 2 or 3 embarrassing performances against Brentford. And now against, you can say, Burnley. Badiashile was one of the positives when he was signed. Wow, man, Badiashile is Rolls Royce. Now he's absolutely bereft of confidence, poor. Enzo is trying his best, but he will get unnecessary criticism. Mudryk gives his best, but again, Mudryk is not good enough in front of goal. So where do we go? Where are we heading? Which direction are we going? I don't know, people. I really don't know which direction we are going, but the only thing I can say is we are going in a very bad direction, and I just think it's becoming to a very, very serious point for the club. And if we don't take this seriously, guys, I'm really, really telling you, if we don't take this seriously, it's going to have big repercussions for the future. If we fans don't unite together, if we fans don't understand the problem at the club, if we don't voice our opinions, I'm telling you the club is going through very bad days because the ownership is clueless. They're absolutely clueless. They're stubborn. They don't even know what they're doing. I think as fans, I'm not saying protest the owners out of something that's not going to happen. but at least process for transparency, at least protest for them to at least explain what they're doing right now, what is the idea, because right now what we see on the pitch, there is no idea of what we are trying to do for the future. It's an utter 1 billion mess where nobody knows where we are heading. We still don't have a quality DM. We still don't have a quality centre back. We still don't have a top class goalkeeper. We still don't have a top class striker. We still don't have a goal scoring winger. And the only player in the attacking department who can actually score goals is Cole Palmer, who we signed not based on data, not based on any scouting. We signed him on the end because we lost our deal to Olise, who has been injured for the most of the season. Big questions need to be asked. 1 billion has been spent and we are 11th in the league and we are struggling against a side that is 19th in the league. Yes, sack the manager. Yes, and Pochettino is doing and sack him right now. But then what? They have got 4 appointments wrong. Potter was sacked. Tuchel was sacked. Lampard was let go. Then you had Bruno Sartre in between. And now you've got Pochettino. Where are we going? What is the idea? Which manager in the world wants to come in this mess? Where they don't sign experience. They want to sign player on low wages. They want to sell every experience. The Strasbourg fans want these owners out. And they are absolutely destroying each and every fabric of this beautiful club that in the last 20 years has been built on ambition, has been built on desire, has been built on unpredictability. Even in Chelsea, in their worst times, we used to win FA Cups. We used to be in the top 6-7 in the league when we had no resources. We had no money. We used to beat Manchester United 5-0 even in our worst days. Right now, even United will beat us 5-0 in the coming week. We are that bad. We are an absolutely shameful team of football, shamefully run, no idea, and it's very, very poor. But again, what can we say? I just don't know where we are going, guys. I really, really don't know where we are going. And now, Bardashile, for me, I was so happy when he was signed. I thought there's a player in him, and I think he started his Chelsea reign really well. He was one of the positives, so I still don't want to lose trust in him. I still trust him. I still think there's a player in Bardashile, but whatever has happened, he has lost any confidence he had in himself. Right now, he's a shadow of a player we signed. He looks very out of confidence. His decision making is poor. In the corner kick, he was absolutely sleeping. Then in the corner kick where Jade Rodriguez hit the bar, Bardashile is just standing there doing nothing. And I just don't know, guys, what to say. He has been very poor. And right now, he does not deserve to start for Chelsea. He's a really poor player. He's not playing well. I love him. I still trust him. I still think there's a player in him. But right now, he has been an absolute embarrassment for now. He has been just an absolutely embarrassment. Simply unacceptable. And I think right now for me, he's just lost his confidence. It doesn't look like a player who was putting in 7 to 8 or 10 performances at the start of his Chelsea career under Graham Potter. It's only got worse and worse. Now, I can blame the manager as well because under him, under Pochettino, defensively aren't that good. Under Potter, we were defensively better. But again, where do we go? Under Poch, we score more goals, but we concede more goals. Under Potter, we could not score goals, but we defended well. I just don't know where we are going as a club, which direction we are going, where we are really heading. Because right now, for me, people, it is becoming an absolute problem. We are in absolutely big trouble right now. And I think people, if you don't realize the type of trouble we are in right now, I think we are just being clueless. We are just being clueless because, guys, being very honest with you all, I'm being very honest here, we are in a massive problem. We are in a massive problem for the future. And if we don't take it seriously, guys, I think we are finito. We are finito. You go on to the next one, that is Pochettino, and I can't defend him. He has been absolutely awful. He started the season playing good football. There was ideas play. There was patterns of play. The preseason went well, and you thought, wow, Poch is doing something. And then he went back on his word. The team became lethargic. The team became defensive. The players were being played out of position. And we kept on struggling in the league. Every time we had a good first half, poor second half. Good first half, poor second half. And the pattern has continued for the whole season. Against Liverpool in the cup final, we conceded from the set piece. Against Brentford, we conceded from a cross. And today again, we have conceded from the set piece. What does Pochettino do in the training ground? I don't know. But on set pieces, we are awful. Defensively, we are getting worse and worse and worse as the season goes on. Then you go in terms of the results. is getting worse and worse. His press conferences is getting absolutely worse. He starts the season by saying we need to go and try to win every game. Now he's saying we need to be given time, and then his substitutions, they come too late, and then you go on to the season second half. He's been unacceptable and he has to be sacked. But again, you can sack him, but the problem is still not Pochettino. The problem is deeper. He's just a small fish in a big pond. There's a shark going in the pond. There's so many fishes there, and he's a very small problem. The problem is very, very deep, people. This problem runs and stems down from the board, from the people in charge, to everyone involved, the players, the staff, the coaching staff, the sporting directors, the technical directors, and the ownership. Everyone is involved. Bringing Lawrence Stewart and Paul Stanley with a Brighton mindset, it was already a red signal. They were not ready. I wanted Michael Edwards, I wanted Paul Mitchell, but I thought, okay, they might know what they're doing. But these guys have just went on a young project. Now, I don't know whether it was their choice or Todd Boehly telling them we need to make profits. I don't know, but they went for this young project where the players are on low wages, 80-year contract, amortized contracts. So in future, you can sell them for big prices, earn big money, the wages are low, save a lot of money, and have a good time. I think that's the strategy they were trying to build. But these people literally forgot that if they put these players on 8-year contract and they don't play well, they lose their confidence. Unfortunately, they get some injuries. That 8 years becomes a prison. That 8 years turns into a prison, and now these players are stuck with us. So even if they want to leave, they will demand a big fee and other clubs won't pay it. On the other hand, we are stuck with these players, and if these players are not motivated, if these players are not at a good level, we are stuck with them for 8 years. And that's because of the big contracts given out. There was no idea, there was no understanding why these contracts were given. But again, we have put ourselves in an utter mess. And now I just don't even know where we are heading, where we are going. I just feel we are in a massive, massive problem. And something soon needs to happen, because right now, I just don't know as a club where we are going, the heights we are going to reach. Because people, I'm being very honest with you all, I think it's only going to get worse and worse and worse before it gets better. It's only going to get bad and bad and bad. Please, people who are watching, please in the comment section, let me know your opinion on Chelsea. Who do you think is the problem? Do you think the problem is Pochettino and he's the only problem? Is it the sporting directors, owners, the players? Please let me know, and please like and please subscribe, because each of your support means a lot. It's already been a bad day, but if you like, subscribe, and we can share our opinions together, it will still mean a lot to me, people. And still, I will again and again say, Poch is a small problem, a small fish in a big pond, where Todd Boehly, Paul Stanley, Lawrence Stewart, Bedard Bali are all destroying a club. These people have no clear philosophy to where they want to take the club. For them, it's about to make Chelsea profitable so they can earn money. But they don't realize that once you destroy a club, it is not profitable. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse. These guys are here just for the money. And unlike Daniel Levy, who is keeping Tottenham at a good stature and earning money, these people are literally going to get us mid-table. At least keep us in the top 6. If you want to earn profit, we need to play Champions League football. At least keep us in the top 5 in the league. But these people are clueless. They are here only for the dividends and profit. And I think they're just absolutely destroying this club. And I think right now, if we have to look at the bigger problem, these people are the bigger problem, because these people will go and appoint Gary O'Neill. These people will go and appoint, you can say, Roberto De Zerbi. These people are going to go there and appoint a new flavor in town, but they will not research. They will not make even one decent research to why they should sign this player, why they should sign that player, because they are clueless. They are absolutely clueless, stubborn. They don't know what they're doing. For them, it's just about to save money. It's just about this multi-club model, but they don't know the football doesn't work like that. It is not NFL, but these guys just will never get it, and they're absolutely destroying every fabric of this beautiful club. Coming on to Nico Jackson, same old. He's a very good footballer. He's a brilliant footballer, a good player with his feet, drives with the ball really well, dribbles really well, and a very good footballer and a player. I think there's a really good player in the future. And I will say one of the decent signing the scouting team has made. But again, he should always have been a player that should have been on the bench. And we should have had a top striker starting for us. But there's no point crying out right now. And I think Nico Jackson, with what attribute I see from him, I don't think he's ever going to be a 20-25 goal striker. He's more like a 10 goal, 10 assist type striker. He's a striker who loves to be part of the link-up play, and that's the reality with Nico Jackson. I don't think he's that type of striker who's going to give you 20, 30 goals, tap in, be in the right position at the right time. He's more like a player that loves to drift inside, carry the ball, dribble with it, and help his other players around him. That's the quality of Nico Jackson. But as a finisher, he's a really, really bad finisher in front of goal. And again today, he had 1 or 2 chances and he failed in those. Whereas a proper striker, a striker that is more clinical, gives us a lead in the game, and then we end the game with 3 points. Coming on to most of the players, and guys, I have to be really honest, most of the players don't deserve to play for Chelsea. Petrovic for me is a fine player, but for me he should be a backup option, and we should have a top-class, world-class goalkeeper being in the goal stick. It's not because of today's mistake. It's something I've been saying for the last 4-5 months. Badiashile, a bench player. Disasi, a bench player. I think Trevor Chalobah is better than Axel Disasi. You go on to Malo Gusto, the only player right now along with Cole Palmer that deserve to play at a Chelsea level. Cucurella, Chilwell, both are right now not good enough. You go on to midfield. Enzo Caicedo have the quality, but right now they need patience and time, but they do have the quality. Mudryk is very raw. I don't think he's a starting quality for a side that wants to finish in top 4. He's more like a player who should be playing for a side who are fighting for top 8, top 9, and we are that side right now. But he needs a lot of development. He still has a lot of rawness, and he needs a loan spell where he can develop and come back, play regularly before he plays for Chelsea. But sadly, we are a mid-table right now. Everybody can play for us. Mudryk has got all the good work, dribbling, carrying of the ball, good positioning, pace, but what he hasn't got is a final output, and that could take 1 or 2 years to build. He's a very good young player, again a player I can see develop in the future, but not a player who is ready right now. Nico Jackson again will take time for him to develop, and he's not a natural striker. And when I'm saying you so many players, it only shows you that most of these players are not good enough to play at Chelsea standard. Most of these players are not good enough to play at a club like Chelsea with the standards, with the mentality we have got. They don't deserve to play at a club like Chelsea. If you want to be a top 4 club in the league, either you need to have experience around young players, or just like Arsenal, you finish 2 seasons 8th in a row, you give these young players time to gel, then you finish 5th and then you finish 4th. That's the only way you can finish 4th. Either you go on a process and that's going to take 4 or 5 years and you remain patient, or you sign some experience, you get your way to the top 4 and that's it. But overall, we are just too poor right now. There's no point talking about it. The season has ended. And I think even with that, our Europa League qualifying hopes have ended as well through league. I think it's just about getting to the FA Cup semi-final, winning that against the mighty Manchester City, and winning the FA Cup. Our chances to win, get a Europa League qualification in the league are officially over now. Dropping points to Burnley is an embarrassment. I don't even know if we'll beat Manchester United, and it's an absolute embarrassment. Just an absolute embarrassment. And Conor Gallagher, see, I love Conor Gallagher. I'll respect Conor Gallagher. This is not a big criticism of Conor Gallagher. I don't think he's much in the wrong. I just feel that he's a good player to play against a big size when you want to play the pressing game, when you want to press the opposition. But when you are playing a low block opposition, you are playing a low quality opposition where you need creativity, I think we can do with one more attacking player. We can play Mudryk in the number 10 role. We can play Sterling at the left. We can play Palmer at the right and Jackson up top. I just feel in these type of games, Caicedo and Enzo are both good enough together, and we don't need to play Conor Gallagher. I have a lot of respect for Conor. He's a good professional player and he's a very good squad player. And for the big games, when you play Manchester City, Arsenal, Manchester United, when you need to cover a lot of ground, we need him. And I really feel from here, we need him. But overall, guys, being very honest with you, in these type of games against Burnley, against Nottingham Forest, against the likes of West Ham, against the likes you can say in the bottom of the table, against the likes you can say of Sheffield United, we don't need Conor Gallagher. We need Noni Madueke, we need a Raheem Sterling, or we need someone else, but we don't need Conor Gallagher in these sort of games. He creatively is not good enough. His shooting in the final box is not good enough. Yes, he scored against Palace, but he misses a lot of chances, and that's the reality with Conor Gallagher. Love him, but he's not good enough for me at a top level, and not good enough in terms of attacking league. But right now, are we even a good side? That's the reality. But I think overall, if you do want to progress this season, if you want to break teams down against teams like Burnley, Sheffield, we need to play an extra attacker and drop Gallagher and play Caicedo and Enzo together. And that's the best way for me to go about it, with attacking fullbacks in Gusto and Chilwell. That brings me to the next one, that is Enzo and Caicedo. And again, see, they're going to get unnecessary criticism. The media, they will go on Caicedo, they will go on Enzo Fernandez. They will say the 220 million midfield is failing. But if you go and see the match, Enzo had a very, very good match. He made a wonderful pass to Gusto, which should have been a goal. He made some other very, very good passes as well. He opened a lot of move. Moses Caicedo, whenever intercepted, he did well. He passed the ball around well. And both Enzo and Caicedo did their work. It's not their mistake that Chelsea have got an utter garbage squad. And it's not their mistake that Chelsea's front line is not good enough, bar Cole Palmer. I think Enzo and Caicedo did their best. But because they are 100 million signings, the media is going to give them unnecessary criticism. And as fans, we need to back these boys because they are facing an unnecessary amount of hate and pressure, and that is not good. It was not their mistake they were signed for that money. That's the market, but they are facing unnecessary pressure because they play in one of the worst side in the league, one of the worst run club in the world, and you cannot blame them for that. That's the mistake of Chelsea ownership, and as fans, we need to back these players, and we need to have something on this ownership. We need to make our voices heard, and I think we need to have some chat with the ownership in the stadium. Not saying say owners out, but at least we should demand what is your idea, where are we heading, and what the F are you trying to do with this wonderful club. And that brings me to the ownership, and they have to correct this mistake in the summer. They have to correct these mistakes in the summer. They have gone too much young project right now. We are absolutely struggling. The young players right now are not good enough to play at this level, and we are absolutely starving for some experience, some world-class level in the squad. Cole Palmer brought that. Malo Gusto has brought that. But other than that, we don't have top players. Enzo Caicedo had the potential to be that. Right now, they aren't playing at that same potential overall this season. You go on, Nico Jackson, he has a potential, but right now, he's not ready. I think we need to go in the summer. We need to sign a player like a Victor Osimhen, a Ivan Toney. We need to sign a very, very good defender like Anderson, like a Mark Guhi, or anyone available. And we need to sign some free agents who are experienced, who have done this before. That's the only way we can change our fortunes. If this ownership is stuck on this young project, finito. We as a club are absolutely finito. And now coming on to Chelsea player rating. So before I do that, people, please do hit the like and subscribe. Your opinion really means a lot to me. And please in the chat, participate. Let me know your opinion on the game, your opinion on the certain players, and where do you see that Chelsea are heading and which direction we are going. And is it good or are we heading to absolute worst right now? Because for me, people, we are only getting worse and worse and worse, and it's becoming really worrying. First of all, on Petrovic, he made a really poor mistake on the goal, but he's one player who can get away with it. He has been spectacular this season for a player we had no expectation. For a player who came out of syllabus, he has been really, really good this season. He's been better than Sanchez. He has been really, really good. He saved us in this game a lot of times. Burnley should have scored a lot of times, but Petrovic was there. I think Petrovic in this game overall did a good job. He has been really good for us this season. Yes, he made a mistake on the goal, but it happens. It happens. And if there's one player who could be allowed a leeway, that is Petrovic. I give him a 5 because he made some very, very big saves to otherwise what could have been a loss against Burnley at Stamford Bridge. And that brings me to Malo Gusto. Again, one of the better players in the pitch today. He drove well with the ball, put in the right crosses. He gave so many good passes to Palmer earlier in the game, so many good passes to Mudryk. He was attackingly really, really threatening. Defensively, he did his fine whenever required. And I think Gusto overall, I think did a really good job in the game. And he's one of the rare positive we have got this season. One of the rare positive we have really got this season. He was again really, really good. Have to give him a rating of 7. I think he did a very, very good job, Malo Gusto, and he has to be given credit. 7 for him. One of the rare positive in a season of absolute despair. And that brings me to Axel Disasi. And people, I have a lot of respect for each and every Chelsea player. You know, I love every Chelsea player, but I've been telling you for a long time, I just don't think Disasi is a player that is ready for a level like Chelsea. I still believe Trevor Chalobah is better than him, and I still don't believe that he's a player who is ready-made for this top level. He still has a lot to learn in his game. He still has a lot to develop, and this is why I overall really, really feel for him. I just don't think he's not a bad player, but he's not a top class player. That is not his mistake. We just haven't got any experience around him. Thiago Silva now doesn't play, and I think at the moment he's very erratic. Sometimes he loses his head, sometimes he's not in the right position, and I think overall he's just an average centre back for whom we paid 45 million, and we haven't got anyone decent around him. Then I go to Badiashile, one of the players that I used to be really happy when we signed. He looked like a masterstroke when we signed him. He defended well. He did a good job. He made some very good passes. But since the sacking, you can say, of Graham Potter, his performance has declined. Whether it's to do with the manager, Mauricio Pochettino, I don't know. But his performances have been absolutely embarrassing. His performances have been absolutely third-class performances. He has been absolutely awful since the season, making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. He has been absolutely poor this season, and this is why I give him a 4. Again today, on the J. Rodriguez corner where he hit the bar, Badiashile was nowhere to be seen. He was very passive in the game. He was not marking the passing lanes, and I think I have to give him a 4. He was really disappointing, and he made me really fed up today. I love him. I still believe he's a talent, but he was really, really poor today. And that brings me to Marco Cucurella again. I just don't know what he offers. He's a player who tries his best. I respect him. I don't think any player deserves hate. I think he still defends well when needed. He can still carry the ball well. He can still make a good weighted pass. But other than that, he's not a good player. He cannot put decent crosses. He's attackingly not really good. He cannot finish his chances. He's not a goal-scoring left back. He's not an assisting left back. And that's the reality with Marco Cucurella. He's just not good enough to be at Chelsea level. But right now, the way he's playing, he's been better than Ben Chilwell. And that says the story. For this, Pochettino has to take the blame. You had Ian Maatsen, who was a really good player. But Poch never rated him. And Maatsen is killing it at Dortmund. While we are stuck with Cucurella and Ben Chilwell. And it's an absolute embarrassment. But that's the solution we are stuck in now. And we have to expect it. And now coming on to Moses Caicedo again. Will face unnecessary criticism. Liverpool fans are going to go after him. But again, he did his job really well. Moses Caicedo has been playing really well in the recent weeks. You can't really blame him. Today he did his best what he could. Today the blame has to go to the defense, the goalkeeper, and especially the attacking department. The midfield did his job. Caicedo did his work defensively well. And then you go on to Enzo Fernandez. He was really good in terms of his passes. He made a wonderful pass in Malo Gusto, which should have been a goal, and an assist to Enzo Fernandez. He made some really good passes. He took some really good positions, Enzo Fernandez. His passing was good. The way he was controlling the tempo was good, and you can't blame Enzo for today. I think this was one of better Enzo Fernandez game in recent weeks. He was really, really good in the game. You can't blame him when the whole team was absolutely shy. You can't blame him for that. I think Enzo had a fine game today. Caicedo had a fine game today. The problems were much higher up the field, and they are not to take the blame for that. For me, both Caicedo and Enzo had fine games today, and they should not be the players who should face the brunt for this defeat. And that takes me to Conor Gallagher, and I've been saying for a long time, I have a lot of respect for Conor Gallagher. I will again and again say he does try his best, so I have a lot of respect for him. But again, people, I will keep on saying this. I'm again and again going to keep speaking this. Conor Gallagher is good enough to play against a big size. When we are under transition, we are attacking them quickly. We are trying to win the ball back. We don't have much possession. But when we are playing the low block, where you need the killer pass, you need someone who can be in the box and finish the chances. Conor Gallagher is not the player. And in spite of him, you can play a better attacking player against these size, like a Sterling, like a Madueke, like someone else. But overall, against these size, there's no need to play all three, Caicedo and Enzo Gallagher. And today, again, attackingly, in terms of creativity, Conor was nowhere to be seen. His passing was poor. His hitting in the front of the goal was poor. He had a really poor display today for me. And that takes me to Palmer, the player that has been carrying Chelsea, an absolute top-class player who doesn't deserve this garbage. And a player, for me, people being very honest, if this continues, if Chelsea keep on staying in the mid-table, at some point, a big club is going to come for him in 1 or 2 years, and he'll use this as a stepping stone and go away, because this guy does not deserve to play for a team that's 11th in the league. He is one of the best players in the league. He's an absolute top-class player, and he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve this. For me today, why I give Palmer a 9 instead of 10 is I think he could have scored more goals. But overall, people, I'm so disappointed for him, because he's a top-class player who is playing with absolutely youth players, who is playing with absolutely irresponsible players, and this guy deserves better. This guy deserves better. Again, absolutely fantastic, taking the right positions, being calm on the ball, and the only guy who knew what to do in front of goal, his passes, his touches, his ideas, those were fantastic. He's like miles ahead of his counterparts, and that is really, really worrying. And Mudryk, I think, did his job well, won the penalty, got the red card, dribbled really well, had good pace, threatened really well. So I'm really happy with his performances. And he showed why he should be starting over Sterling. But again, he just can't hit a shot in the back of the net. And that is something he has to improve. And that could take 1 or 2 years for that to improve. He's still a player who is in a transition. He's still a player who's learning. So we need to have a lot of patience. But in terms of finishing, he just hasn't got that. And that brings me to Nicholas Jackson again. A brilliant footballer, good with the ball, dribbles really well, does his job well. But this guy cannot finish his chance to save his life. This man can never finish a chance in front of goal. And that is the biggest problem in Nico Jackson. He's a fine player overall. He's a brilliant footballer. He does really good job with the ball. He drives well with the ball. He dribbles well. He takes the right position. His passing is really good. But again, the biggest problem with him is he just can't score in front of goal. And that is the reality with him. He just cannot score in front of goal. And that is the biggest problem with him. And that brings me to Noni Madueke. He has to be a 6. Tried his best, came on, tried to do everything possible he could. But again, it was just not good enough. And Sterling came on, got an assist, did well. But then again, missed an absolute sitter. Are we surprised? No. That's something we have been seeing for a very long time. So not even a surprise. That's been the story of Chelsea for a very long time with having these sort of players. We are just in the same sort of problem, struggling and everything. And on the final note on the video, people, because I'm absolutely exhausted, man. I'm not really feeling well. My eyes are paining, but I love this club. I'll do anything for this club. And it's not about victory. It's not about having a victory every time. For me right now, I'm used to losing. For me, the way we are run, the utter mess we are in right now, I'm very worried for the future of this club, because for me, I love this club and I can't see this club absolutely put down in the gutter with the way this ownership is running us. And again, I really feel for the fans. I really feel for the people that are going to the stadium. I really feel for every Chelsea fan, because this ownership is running us down to the ground. They're absolutely destroying each and every fabric of the club. They're absolutely killing everything that's associated with the club. And again, people, I will say before I end the video that this match is the same story. Great chances, do not take them. Individual errors, concede poor set bit goals, and drop points. That's been the story, where you have to blame the manager, you have to blame the players, you have to blame the sporting director for signing such inexperience, and then this ownership who want to even sign more young players. So the Chelsea problem is the same, and it's going to remain the same. And people, just going on to this last part before I just end the video, that the problem with this club, people, it runs deeper. We can say what we want, but the problem in this club runs deeper. The biggest problem is the sporting directors, the way they are running this club, thinking is Brighton, where you sign every young player. This type of project is going to get you 11th and nothing more than that. And you are managing one of the gargantuan club in the world in Chelsea, who even in one day Barca used to fear, Real Madrid used to fear, and now not even Burnley fear us. That's the position to put us. You have signed so many inexperienced players on 8-year contract. You won't be able to sell them. You cannot keep on selling Cobham graduates, and we are going to be in big trouble in FFP. If not this season, by next season. And we aren't playing Champions League football at this rate for even the next 2, 3 or 4 years. And that is a harsh reality. And then I have to go to the ownership. And first of all, I have to discuss on this, that I think most of these players are just not ready. I have no problem with any of these players. I love each and every Chelsea player. I really love each and every Chelsea player. I respect them a lot. I have a lot of love for them. But I just think a lot of these players right now belong to a mid-table club, which we are, but we don't aspire to be here. These players need a lot of development, and sadly, if we aspire to be in the Champions League, we can give them. And I just don't think they're ready to play at this level. And that brings me last to this ownership. And I think we need to make some big changes in the summer. If we want to make this right, we need to sign them experience. Otherwise, it's another mid-table finish loading with Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United, Tottenham, Aston Villa, the competition increasing. We need to get it right this summer. And people, Hopefully you like this video, because I have nothing to say. I cannot even rant. I can come in and shout, what's happening? I can't do it. There's no benefit. I lose my voice. I lose everything. There's no benefit. I can't even cry on the stream. What's the benefit? We have been used to this now. Since the Graham Potter days, we've been used to this. But it's just sadness. It's just sadness that I know is not going to go anytime soon. Like with Chelsea, you have a packet of chips. You're eating a chips. You're having a cold drink. You're excited for the match. Tough weekend. You do work in office. You wait for the Chelsea match. You think the players are going to fight. The manager is finally going to get it right. And then you come to this performance. That's been the reality. And the people who go to the stadium, they're absolutely not connected with the squad, with this ownership. And this is not improving. And with the 8-year contract we've given to these players, we are in this mess for a long time. And people, this car can only go two ways. Either this car is going to go to the right way, we'll reach our destination, or this will go to a bad way and we are done. We're never going to reach home. And that's the reality. On one end, these players need to reach their potential. Mudryk needs to become one of the top players in the world in 1 year time. Mudryk needs to become one of the best right wing in the Premier League. Palmer is already top class. Malo Gusto is already top class. Enzo Caicedo need to be one of the best midfielder in the world. Bardeshele Disasi need to realize their potential. And then you go on and on and on and on. If these things happen, we'll reach our potential. But if this thing doesn't happen, which is a very highly chance it doesn't, we are going nowhere. And the only way to rectify it in between is to sign some experience in the summer. Otherwise, it's all going to happen. We can sack Pochettino. I want Poch sack. But again, I'm going to say Poch is a big problem, but he's still a small fish in a big pond. The biggest problem is the Sharks, and the Sharks are the ownership, and the whales are the sporting directors. That's the way we are going right now. And people, I end this video on this. I'm disappointed, but hopefully you've liked and subscribed. Please, people, let me know your opinion. It really means a lot. Thank you. Wishing you all the best. Thank you. But still, I'll say, up the mighty Blues.